What was one of the most important difference from building in 2015 and Arizona United, transforming them to Phoenix Rising FC, building successful sporting and commercial culture there, to building today in 2023 Rhode Island FC project? What was one major thing that changed in building?
Well, I mean, I think ultimately it doesn't come down to money. Like putting a winning product, it takes almost as much money to have a bad team as it does to have a good team. And you see it in from the experience I've gained in England. There are some incredible ownership groups that invest an incredible amount of money um and have great results to show for it. And there's a whole bunch of them that have really poor results to show for it. And so Tom Brady in Birmingham, they got relegated last year. It wasn't because of a lack of money. Now they're getting promoted back up this year. So, what I'm not quite sure. I haven't dived deeply into it, but again, sports is just an interesting business. And from my perspective, there's nothing better than being involved with sports. I mean, I love it. I love, this weekend, my Rhode Island team is playing, Ipswich is playing. I just can't wait for the games. I'm like, I find it very during the brief windows in the calendar where I don't have some team playing, that becomes I miss it, if you will. I can't wait till the season to start up. And tomorrow or Sunday is the last day of the Premier League, so I'll miss it. And then but I won't have to wait too long, and the team will be at it again. Albeit, obviously, Ipswich is going to be playing in Championship next season.
And we mentioned before that the most important um, factors you take into consideration is the real estate aspect when investing in a sports franchise. So, from your background in um, in selling computer and laptop specific product to your academic progress and founding Benevolent Capital, how do you can you guide us on how did you educate yourself to identify real estate development opportunities, or was it just your entrepreneurial instinct?
So it's not a bold statement to view sports, certainly in the United States, is in many respects a real estate play. I live in Los Angeles. If you look at LA Live, which is obviously the downtown LA real estate development centered around the Lakers and the LA Kings, the hockey team, it's transformed downtown LA in terms of all the real estate development that's come about. If you look at Atlanta Braves and SunTrust Park, in that market, again, an incredibly successful live, work, play development. So I effectively, I'm just taking pages from those playbooks, but I'm adopting it in what I'll call a USL format, and I'm focusing on what, with the utmost respect, is you would largely consider secondary markets, smaller markets. Rhode Island, is the smallest state in the union. But an incredible state, incredibly rich demographics, great geographical location on the Eastern Shoreboard in New England, between New York City and Boston.